Alright, please don't mind my outfit, the way I look, or the fact that I might sound a little rough. I just woke up, but we did just get the leaks for chapter 239 of the Blue Lock manga. We don't have the translations yet, we just got the raws, but from what we've seen, everything has changed. And I didn't think this much was going to change in the span of one chapter, let alone did I think what happened was going to happen. But we have to talk about it, boys, because Atoshi Rin is finally back, and he might be peak verse right now. I thought Isagi was still going to be a little bit near him, but after the displaying that we just saw in the MUNCHEN vs PXG match, at least the ending that we saw of it, as well as the score, Rin's on another level right now. Scoring a hat-trick against Barca, which Baro did, is one thing. It's impressive, don't get me wrong, but with all the factors that we were given, the fact that his system kind of fed him, as well as Barca just being not that strong of a team, but seeing Rin do that to MUNCHEN City, the team that Isagi had to struggle against for the entirety of the match and didn't even score, that's ridiculous. That's insane. I did not think we were going to see Rin come back with that level of swag, but we really are. In case you guys didn't see the match, 3-1 victory in PXG's favor. Chigiri is the only person who scored a goal, leading me to believe that Rin probably man-marked Nagi the entire time, same way to how Isagi was trying to shut down any sort of chemical reactions that him and Rio would have, almost in a way to say, look, Isagi, I can do this even better than you can, go fuck yourself. And he could, because Nagi didn't score, whereas Chigiri was probably able to replicate his formula using his golden zone. I did lose a bet. I did say that Nagi was going to score in this instead of Chigiri, so my bad. But for the people that I owe money to, let me know in the comments down below. In the translations, now we don't have pure proper translations, it's just someone in my Discord happens to know how to break it down, so they told me what they think it says. And it's a pretty close estimate to at least what we can assume Rin would say. So basically taking a look at the final panel where we do see Rin. He scored all three, whereas MUNCHEN City only scores one. The note basically talks about how the current Rin is on a completely different level. The key to his new revolution is the fact that he is hunting Isagi down like a fucking dog. He's pissed. We all know he's pissed, and I feel like seeing Isagi thrive even more, and especially when he goes back, and especially when he goes back and watches, I feel like seeing Isagi thrive even more, he's going to be even more pissed, which is just going to in turn make him even more of a threat on the field. We all know what Rin's like, Berserker Rin especially, and we see the aura when he pops up in the chapter. He's going up against Nagi, and Nagi's trying to stop him. He's doing his best. We all know Nagi. He's like, what, 6'4", 6'3", a big, physical, strong, athletic human being. But even he says, I can't do anything against him. This monster, his physicals are completely off the charts, which is something that you don't see with Isagi. Like, yeah, sure, they admitted in the last match that, oh, his physicals can kind of match up against his brain now. I still don't think that's the case because look at him, but that's what they're saying, so we're gonna go with it. Always had the physicals, and the brain as well. Maybe not a brain the same as Isagi's, but he's always had a brain that was better at first, and then slowly over time, Isagi's kind of caught up. But still, that doesn't mean that Rin's lacking, because he makes up for it in every other aspect of his play. And now, it seems like that's even greater. The gap between Rin and everybody else has just been widened even more than it was within the second selection, within the third selection. And it's kind of baffling, but I'm here for it. I am totally here for it. It made complete sense with the way that they spun the narrative in the UBERS match, giving Isagi those 2 goals. If Rin didn't score 3 and they went in almost tied, it would kind of seem lame, leaving it to where Isagi only has 4 goal contributions and Rin has 5, just makes it to where he still has to climb up to get him, but establishes that Rin is top verse at the moment, especially over Isagi. And as far as the Blue Lockers are concerned, you can make a case for him still not being on the pair with the New Gen 11s, but I think after this match, with the ease of which he scored 3 goals in an environment that Kaiser and Isagi couldn't score 3 goals themselves, I think you have to give it to Rin this time. I truly do think you have to give it to Rin, and the reason you give it to Rin is because you look at the level opponent. Sure, PXG might not have people fighting on them. Sure, PXG's formation may be a little bit different as far as they don't have a civil war going on. I mean, I don't know how it works with Shido, because we haven't even seen Shido. Where is he, by the way? But that's not the issue at hand here. The issue at hand here is the fact that Atoshi Rin is finally back where he belongs. And I guess that makes everything almost fall back into narrative sense, because with Isagi being on top, as we kind of all felt like he was going to be, there was nothing that could have brought him back down or humbled him in time until we just saw this. This is the first time I looked at least a match or the team or a player, and I'm like, okay, yeah, no, the bastard's done. UBERS, I truly did think that they were going to lose, just because the way that the narrative I thought would go, or was going, that would have been best. But the way that it's setting up now, it's going to be an absolute raffle stomp for PXG at the hands of Atoshi RIN, and I'm all here for it. PXG needs to humble Bastard Munich. And if they don't humble Bastard Munich and they go undefeated completely, but I'm not going to overload it with speculations already. As you guys know, we did only just get the spoilers like literally 10 minutes ago. And I hopped on here, recorded before we have translations, before we have any confirmation of anything specifically, just because we needed to talk about not just the fact that the match is over, not just the fact that we saw a glimpse of what PXG has to offer. It's the fact that Atoshi RIN is back to being the #1 player in all of Blue Lock. And I feel like most of us RIN stans, we're here for it. We love it. But for you Bastard Munich and Isagi Yoichi fans, you're in for a rude awakening. I truly believe that, because with what we've seen in these 2 or 3 little panels that we got of RIN and we got of PXG, they're on a completely different level. I think that this is definitely going to be the best match in the entirety of the Neo Egos League, because they're the only 2 teams that seem to be on each other's level. But I think PXG is going to take it, and I think they just have, or make a better case as far as why they'll take it. And their performances have been more dominant, at least from what we've seen. Their ace is also more dominant. I mean, you can kind of argue who the ace is currently at the moment for Bastard Munich. I'd say it really is Isagi at this point, because Ness isn't doing anything. Kaiser is truly the proper ace, and I feel like at this point, every single Blue Locker in the Germany stratum is going to get thrown in for Bastard Munich, just to further, I guess, play alongside Isagi, because it worked in the last match, so that's probably what they're going to go for on this one, which is where I think they might have the issue. If anybody knows how to stop Isagi, it's going to be RIN. And that's the only thing he has on his mind right now, is stopping Isagi, because he truly cannot stand the fact that Isagi is seen as the star, not only by the world, by his brother, by Ego, by Noah, by everyone. He's here to shut that shit down, and we're going to see if he's the one to do it. I truly do think that if anyone is going to take Bastard and Isagi off their high horse, it's going to be PXG and RIN. But at the end of the day, I really don't know. I really don't know. It's just honest, hopeful speculation, and I really hope that they go in the best way possible for the narrative. But at least for today, that's all I got for you. So if you enjoy, make sure you leave a like and consider subbing up to the channel with post notifications down below so you never miss another video from myself. Sadly, I am already going to have to redo my top 10 because it's already incorrect. So make sure you stay tuned for that, as well as my breakdown for the PXG versus Bastard Munich match, at least how I speculate it's going to go. And I'm going to even try and get a video on what I believe the speculatory bids are going to be for the top 10 of the NEL before we end up getting there next week. So if you want to see all that, stay tuned. And as always, I love you guys. Take it easy.